Hi everyone, and welcome to the Sagittarius May 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance, or more simply put, to better help you find where you fit. So hi and welcome to everyone, both new and returning. To those of you who are returning, thank you so much for your support of my channel. Can't tell you how much it really affects me and how much I appreciate it. So for those of you who are new, thank you for joining. This whole reading is meant to basically help you take a look at a challenge that Spirit is asking you to embrace head on and overcome for the month of May. That's going to allow you to be able to unlock something about your unique self so that you can better understand and see your personal path and purpose, and to better understand your own spiritual importance. Why are you here? Where do you fit? What are you meant to do? All right, so first I'm going to pull a card here to take a look at the internal energy. What are you bringing, Sagittarius, to the month of May? And then I'm going to pull a card or some cards for your external environment, what's going on around you. And then we'll pull the cards to take a look at the challenge and what you're going to be unlocking about yourself if you can fearlessly meet this challenge. Okay, so right off the bat, Sagittarius, we have a really beautiful energy that you're coming in with. So it's the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a card that speaks to nostalgia. It's a card that speaks to emotionally connecting with the past and also with the past version of yourself. It's also where we can actually go back and almost have that moment where we connect with a part of ourselves from the past that we may have forgotten about. And we, through emotional connection to that part of ourselves, get to bring a gift from ourselves forward into the current experience. Now, with the Page of Wands in your external environment, this is a lovely energy to actually be coupled with this, because the Page of Wands is about going out and working with your passion and with a optimistic, childlike beginner's mindset. This really, the Page of Wands represents that exuberant child who's going to run up to you with their new toy and to say, look at this amazing thing I have, I love it. So there's this element of going out and kind of working with your passion, working with your magic. And I think that that's a lovely catalyst to something that you're discovering or reconnecting to within yourself. So this could look like you're reconnecting to a moment from your childhood that suddenly you realize you would like to bring forward into your current present day experience. And this could be something where you're actually connecting with a true gift that you maybe at one point had loved to do. Maybe you love to write or paint or play a specific sport, and suddenly you're reconnecting with that part of yourself. And that's therein showing that you have a supportive environment for you to go out and start playing with that part of yourself that you're emotionally connected with. But again, from this place of kind of that optimistic beginner's mindset of, gosh, I haven't played soccer since I was 15, but I played soccer for 10 years and it was my whole world. I loved it. And now I really want to bring this part of myself back out there again. And the beauty of this is that with the Two of Wands coming up here, this is what you're unlocking about yourself, about your experience this month. And this is a pretty big decision for you, Sagittarius. This is where you get a chance to make that decision of, where do I go from here? Now that I'm going out and acting on this new passion, it's actually going to allow you to, I think, turn your back on something else that you might have been pursuing or following or taking action from. And it's actually a really great energy for you to, again, connect a part of your past with actually bringing that forward into your physical environment, taking action from that place. And that's going to really show you a new way forward. Okay, so we're going to go ahead here and pull some cards now to take a look at, what is the challenge? Where are you being blocked from bringing out this part of yourself that you're emotionally connecting to and actually engaging, acting on it in your external environment? So let's go ahead and see here. What does Sagittarius need to know about their challenge? Where are they being blocked? I hope all of you have had a wonderful May so far. I'm sorry that your reading is a little bit late to be posted, but better late than never. All right, so we have 3 of Pentacles, we have 10 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, and the World. Okay, wow. You have some interesting cards coming out here, Sagittarius. So the 3 of Pentacles is your main challenge point here. And the 3 of Pentacles is one of building something in the physical with others. This would be like getting together with your family members and saying, okay, guys, we're all going to build a fantastic home life together. Let's all get on board and let's discuss what we want to see. It's almost like having that 5-year plan. This can also be where it's, anything in your life, where you are building a business, where you are saving towards something. Where this can become a block is one of 2 things. When we don't know who we want to build with, when we are kind of sitting there alone, getting kind of lost in the nostalgia of what once was, and we are not engaging in the physical with an eye towards growth. That's really what the 3 of Pentacles speaks to. And for some of us, we can get into these kind of dead spaces, almost, what I like to see them as, is that where we've come so far, we've put a lot of energy into something, and then we kind of just hit this like stagnation place of where you don't have the next 5-year plan. You're not looking with an eye for the future. And so you're kind of just sitting there doing the same thing day in and day out. And where this can really become a hindrance is when then we start to kind of, as we're getting kind of stagnant and stuck and frustrated, and because we don't really have that spark of passion and we're not working our way diligently towards something, we then end up kind of slipping into this, well, the best days of my life are gone. Or it was so much better then, or I wish I could go back to that time. And we start to kind of slip backwards on our path instead of pulling ourselves and growing forward. So the beautiful thing, though, on the other side of this is the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups is your ultimate realization of your heart's fulfillment. This is what they would often call the happy family card in the tarot. It's that card of emotionally connecting to, if you could live a little piece of your vision of heaven on earth, that's what this would be. And I think there's an element here of, with the 4 of Pentacles coming up in the middle, which is what you're actually being asked to embrace, that there's this element of wanting to lean into that dream, wanting to, I think, with whatever you're connecting with here in your internal world, it's almost like you see what you don't have. You're emotionally connecting to something that you're realizing you're missing in your current experience. And you want to build towards this. You're realizing, I want this for myself. I see suddenly where I want to have it all. But with the 4 of Pentacles coming up in the middle, this is an interesting energy of kind of holding yourself back. Now, with it coming up in the position that this is what Spirit wants you to embrace. Spirit wants you to embrace the energy that this card brings, which is kind of interesting because the 4 of Pentacles really is one of stagnation, of not wanting to truly commit or invest for fear of loss, for fear that if you do take a little bit from what you have now, you're going to destabilize what you have, and it's not going to allow you to build towards what you want. But when it comes up in this kind of position here, it's also a realization of a momentary pause where you get a chance to realize just how stable you are, to realize that you have enough, that you've built a foundation. And to realize too that you have built a foundation either with others, or you've at one point put effort towards something, and now you're sitting in a place where, yeah, you do have enough. And you have the ability now to take what you have and invest it towards something. And I think this is directly tied towards this Two of Wands here. But this can get to be where we get stuck and we say, well, okay, I understand that I'm at this place and I understand that I'm good. I don't technically need to do anything. But with the Ten of Cups looming directly behind this, this is when we realize I don't need to do anything because I can pay my bills, we have just enough, we're good. But I'm not as emotionally fulfilled as I could be, as I know I want to be. And with the Nine of Wands, there's this feeling of kind of burnout, of realizing how far you've come, but taking pride in that, taking pride that, wow, I really have gone through quite a bit. I have gone out there and tried new things. I have taken action from a place of passion. And I can bring this to a place here of pride, of look at how far I came to achieve this Four of Pentacles, to achieve the level of stability that I have now. But with the World coming up as your final challenge, this is the ending of a major cycle. This heralds the fact that something is to start anew. And the beauty when the World comes up is that this actually could denote travel. This could denote moving locations, a giant career change, any type of change that would really kind of, I would say, create movement, dramatic movement in some specific area of your life. And again, tying back to making this decision of where do I go from here. And this is really going to be contingent on a part of yourself that you're connecting with in your past that you want to then start to work with out in the world again. It's connecting to passion that's going to allow you to have the courage to take a little bit of what you've already created and invest in yourself and confidently go out with optimism and curiosity about this newfound connection to something that you think might actually help lead to this emotional fulfillment, this Ten of Cups. The World is a beautiful card because we also get a chance to really take stock of this major life cycle that we have gone through. You know, I sometimes look at this as, for some of you who are knowledgeable about astrology, this can be when we've gone through a kind of Saturn return period in our life where we were kind of pushed by the taskmaster in the sky, which is Saturn, to really have to dig deep and do the things that we have to do to get the job done. And that's kind of what the Nine of Wands is saying here. And I think for some of you might have gone through something like that, where, man, this last cycle really was all about just getting the job done. And now with the Page of Wands coming in, it's almost like you're being freed to free yourself from that kind of feeling. It's not about just getting the job done anymore. It's about what do you as Sagittarius want to go out there and play with? What do you want to do? What would emotionally make you feel like you had everything? And the World gives you a chance to really take stock of that last major cycle, look at all the lessons learned, and also look at who you've become. Look at, the tarot will often show the person in the image of this, or on the image of this card, as half naked. And that's because you've gone through so much, and you've gone through so much with spirit, that there's nothing left to hide about who you are and who you've become at this point, because everything who you are has been laid bare. So really, I think, lean into that, Sagittarius, that you get a chance to really see who you are, how far you've come, and now you get this beautiful chance to go out and, I think, focus on yourself. Maybe some of you have been really focused on other people, on helping other people, and it's time to go out and start the new adventure. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull 3 cards down here. Ooh, first card right out the gate here. It's going to be for curiosity. This is where Spirit would like you to stay curious and open to for the month of May. So we have Deceit, number 25, breaks down to number 7, which is it's a number that kind of speaks to reviewing your life with kind of co-creating with Spirit. Now, Deceit, I always look at this card as a card of self-deceit. It actually does kind of ring true to mirroring the Seven of Swords to me in the tarot. So where to be open and curious to? Where are you deceiving yourself that you can't go out and follow a passion, that you're not willing to realize a major cycle has ended, that you have stability, and that now you get the chance to kind of course correct, maybe not even course correct, you get to just start to grow again, start to realize, oh yeah, there's the rest of my path. You know, it doesn't just end here. What's the next story? What's the next chapter? And where are you holding yourself back thinking that you don't have enough? Because I'm seeing here this individual is playing with money and coins in his hand. And this really kind of goes directly to the Four of Pentacles, with that feeling of, I want to kind of hoard and keep what I have, and playing with it and thinking, well, this is enough. This is good enough for me. When in reality, there's a lot more out there. And if you were to just invest this little bit, you might, but again, invest it with an eye for your future. Invest it with an eye for what I want to follow passionately. What couldn't you reap? And that's really something to keep in mind as you're kind of being curious and open to and asking yourself a question is, why am I holding myself back? Where am I holding myself back? And what is that passion that I know I maybe need to invest a little in now to start to open this door to a cycle of new growth for myself? Okay, so now we're going to pull a card here for the concept of courage, and this is where Spirit would like you to be courageous in taking action, or what to keep in mind to help give you the courage to take action for the month of May. Let's see, what does Sagittarius need to know about where they need to stay courageous? And I always put courage and action together, because even the smallest actions, they still require us to have some level of courage to make the decision to take them, and then to actually follow through and make them. Okay. Ooh, okay, we have two that came out. Oh, I love it. Well, I think this really kind of speaks to what's going on here. We have surrender your fear of change. It says, the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. And then we have surrender to receiving support and love. It says, I'll allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So I really do feel here that there is this element of, with the Four of Pentacles, not wanting to change, not wanting to give a little bit of the stability you're clinging to at this point. But the beauty of change is that change equals growth. Change and growth to me go hand in hand. And if there is no change happening in our life, that also means that we are not growing. And until the day that we leave this experience, we should be continually growing. Plus, there's always room for continual growth. We don't know what the next chapter might bring. We may be 60 years old and realize, oh my gosh, I love painting. And suddenly your legacy is contingent on you painting at a later stage in your life, and it's what you'll become known for. Or maybe you're 25 and you thought you were on a specific career path getting out of college, and suddenly you realize, wait a second, there's a whole life ahead of me. It isn't just about if I don't get this job by this point, or if I'm not married by this age. It's like suddenly the whole world opens up and we don't hold ourselves to a time stamp. And with the surrender to receiving support and love, I love this. This is also about Sagittarius. I think for some of you, you might have gone through a period where you've either been alone, or where you felt that with the Nine of Wands coming in, that maybe you were carrying that burden yourself, that you were kind of the one having to make the sacrifices or be the one to help another. And now it's that time to open yourself back up. When we choose to start to work with our passions again, and when we choose to start to emotionally connect to our experience, it's not about walking the next path alone. It's about the cast of characters that are going to come with you. And I think opening yourself up to who those might be is really going to allow you to surrender this fear of change, because there's going to be others who will want to take part in this next cycle with you. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for contemplation. This is where Spirit would like you to be reflective for the month of May. It's kind of like an underlying theme for the entire reading here. So what would Spirit like Sagittarius to know about the month of May? Oh, I love it. It says, dance with life. Do something to change your energy. And I think that this is very much in alignment with this entire reading. That it's almost like it's time to, you know, get out the rugs and take off the bedding, shake it out, clean up the house, get outside, open the windows. It's time to get out there and just start that next cycle. And this really does kind of play to the Page of Wands too, because the Page of Wands would be the one out there kind of dancing and again, bringing this joyful, childlike exuberance to their experience. So I think Sagittarius is about really getting back into the spirit of yourself, which is the spiritual adventurer, and to get ready to go on your next adventure. That is, you know, for anyone who has Sagittarius in a key placement in their chart, this is part of your larger spiritual importance and journey, which is to continue to engage with that sense of adventure and to want to learn all you can about this life experience and then to share it with others. Sagittarius, your motto in the astrological world is I seek. And you should never stop seeking. That is part of your divine design, is that you should be always seeking the next adventure to allow you to gain more clarity and insight about our experience so that you can then go ahead and share that with others. Beautiful reading. So for those of you who would like to watch the extended, there is an extended for this video. You can click on the link in the description box below to view the extended, where we will go further into this decision that you're making here, pull some additional cards. We'll pull additional cards for the Three of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the World. And then for some of these down here, I will also pull additional cards around the energy of romantic love for the month of May. And then we'll pull a final card to get an overarching theme around the lesson you're learning about your spiritual importance this month. If you'd like to book your personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. Otherwise, if I don't see you in either of those two places, Sagittarius, I will see you next month for your June illumination reading. Have a wonderfully illuminating and hopefully adventurous May. Bye, Sagittarius.